Actually, you know what? The run was cool. It's the coolest I've ever experienced it out here. That cloud cover.
Yeah.
Normally you get out off a lee drive and it's just clear and hot.
Yeah.
I think that little bit of cloud cover and the breeze kept it a little cooler. So
Yeah, even a leafy drive wasn't that
No.
muggy.
No.
Normally it's like stifling.
yeah, like a sauna.
And you were saying there was no wind out there, really? Not like it has been?
There was a bit of a headwind coming back.
It was fast going out.
It was really fast.
Really quick going out.
Which was annoying because
You
we had
knew
a
that.
big group and you can't break away
No.
from a group with a tailwind
Yeah, no.
because you're out of gears and
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you were holding about 50 or 55K on the way out or something?
Mate, we got to Harvey. We got to 56 miles in 2:04. And I flattered in the beginning, so it was a hard chase to get to
did you?
Yeah, I flattered coming down Kuakini in the beginning.
oh no.
And I rode it until halfway up Palani because I could see the tech guy, but our group had 25 people in it, and
Yeah.
he was at the back, and I was towards the front. So I got a quick change, but of course I'm with my hand up like this. The whole group rides past and sees that I got a flat tire. I could hear the gears changing, chink, chink, chink. I'm like, great. But yeah, well, you know, once you got up to the top and went left, it was just a tailwind
Yeah,
for 2 hours, so it was very quick. Very quick.
Does that, what does that do mentally to you coming when you know you're about to turn around at Hobby?
Well, I don't know. I think not a lot. Whenever you get a tailwind here, you just take it. It's a bonus.
Yeah.
Because you can have a headwind out and then it can swing and be a headwind. So anytime you get a tailwind, I was thinking this is bonus. This is going to be a fast year. Because even if you turn around and get a headwind all the way back, at least we've had a tailwind out. Sometimes you get no tailwind at all. So I just thought it was a bonus.
Yeah.
A bonus, but
Well, strong
Yeah, it's
drive,
funny
right?
Mm.
because you have mixed feelings about it because it's nice to kind of make big distance, but I knew there were a lot of people in our group who were hanging. You know, they weren't doing anything,
yeah.
and I was like, I don't really want to come off the bike with them.
Yeah, they're getting a free ride.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the first 3 hours of the race was just the hammer fest. I mean, the swim, both men and women were packs, and now
Yeah.
it was crazy watching it come by and then on the bike.
I think it's the way it's going. It's getting more competitive, and it's not like an individual effort anymore.
Yeah.
There's a dynamic
There's
now,
a tactics.
a little bit of tactics, and because you've got that little technical bit through town, and yeah, so.
And everyone knows what you've got to work on. Like you've seen with the women, everyone knows they've got to be out quick on the swim to make the pack, because now the pack's more important. Like it has always been for the men, really, but
Yeah.
everyone's noticed that. So then suddenly you go from having a pack of 5 to like 12 or whatever it was.
It was huge for both of you guys.
Yeah, well, when I first started, the front pack would be 8 or 10, and now it's 30. And it's just a different dynamic. There's so many good swimmers and so many good people.
Yeah.
So that was the thing too. After the flat, when I caught the group, yeah, there were. I think at that point a few guys had been dropped, but there were 26 guys in it. You know, 12 meters apart, heading out past Waiklara over those rollers. I'd crest a hill, and the group would be at the front of the group would be on the top of the next hill.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make your way to the front, but you got to be smart about trying to get up there, because it takes a lot of energy to get through the group.
Well, that because of drafting and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you got to be careful.
Well, you got to be careful you don't get a penalty, but you got to.
Commit.
Well, you got to make sure you don't spend too much energy doing it either. You don't want to be at the back in case the group splits, but it's hard. You know, you've got 20 seconds or 25 seconds to pass each athlete. You got to wait till you see a little gap open, get around and get in.
And watch for people who are starting to lose
Drop the wheel.
because you don't want to be
Left.
and then you've got to like hammer it to get back on.
Yeah.
It's always like being in the top 3
Yeah.
probably, because then you are in control and you can cover any moves.
Well, you
Especially
better-
when you see, like I saw Caroline going up to the front or Meredith, and I was like, they're the ones that are gonna
Make a move.
break. So
Yeah.
Well,
And you have-
push the hammer down and let
yeah.
yourself.
Well, everyone was. Caroline came past. She was like, "We really have to go fast now." So I was like, "Okay," and then. So did Michelle. She's like, okay, we'll make a break now. So I absolutely hammered it, and then I looked back. I was like, well, you both said you wanted to go fast.
And where are you?
Neither of you came with me. So, but then they bridged the gap, but they brought everyone
Back up.
with me. but you know, a few of those and you start to tire out the legs of.
So out on the bike, you guys, I mean, is it strategic to kind of form alliances and stuff out there and work with each other a little?
I think it happens.
Legally speaking?
I think it happens. I mean, often it's not talked about before the race, but I think everybody knows each other's strengths and weaknesses. And I mean, the only time I've ever sort of heard it orchestrated before was in 2010 in the men's field sort of got together, and a few of them got together, but most of the time, I think those sort of partnerships of convenience form all the time. You know, it's like Rachel said, you know who the strong people are, and when they're on the front, you want to be in the first 2 or 3 as well. And you know, if breaks open up, yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for people to say, okay, well, we've just opened a break, let's keep it going. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think that's just racing. That's the dynamics of what happens. And I don't think it's often talked about much before, to be honest, though. I think it just happens naturally. You know, I mean, you would know who the strong girls are, and they would know you're strong. And I mean, I'm sure if Carolyn and Michelle and Meredith saw you, they would think this is a good opportunity, you know. And yeah, you definitely try and pair up with people who are strong, for sure.
Yeah, kind of race day specific too. I mean,
yeah, you don't know really, because the wind would have made a huge difference. I think we'd have, like if we'd have had the side winds from last year, it would have broken up much earlier. And
yeah,
for me, I kind of like those conditions because I tend to run pretty similar whatever happens on the bike, whereas it was kind of much easier on the legs, kind of on the bike yesterday.
So what, on kind of that same topic, what kind of drives you and motivates you out there? Is that your fellow competitor? I mean, when you're pushing the hammer down, what are you digging deep to find out there? How do you find that?
I think you just want to express your fitness, you know, and really cash in on all the hard work from the last few months. And you know, it's not hard to dig deep. You've prepared and put so much into it. It's been a long build-up, and along the way you've had a lot of obstacles and sacrificed a lot, and you know, it's payoff. On race day, it's payoff. You know, it's time to, not to show everyone else, but for you really to get a sense of, well, this is what I've been preparing for, and this is what I'm ready to do. And it's gratifying to see it, you know, come to fruition. If it does come to fruition, it's not always the case, but you know, I think every athlete's self-motivated to have the best day they can have, and to really just, you want to see all the hard work and the obstacles that you've overcome. You want to see it manifest in a great performance. It's easy to dig deep because that's what you've been thinking about and preparing for.
Yeah, I think I always think, like, at every moment I'm kind of giving everything I can, because you kind of want to get to the finish line knowing that you did do everything, and that means kind of staying strong mentally as much as physically, because it's easy to kind of, you know, get disheartened if. So, I mean, when I saw you in the energy lab, it was exactly kind of what you need to hear, because anything can happen. And I was like, even though Rinny had made the pass and obviously made up a lot of time, I still had to kind of keep going as fast as I could, because, you know, who knows what may have happened with 10K to go. And you know, I kind of want to get to that finish line knowing that I never gave up and just kept pushing.
Yeah, finish that line, empty tank.
Yeah.
Well, moving outside the race type of thing, because you both did exceptional, Rachel second. What are your plans for the nearest future? Going back to Australia?
Yeah, we're heading home on Wednesday. We've been away for 4.5, 5 months, and you know, I was just saying to my wife last night, we had made no plans from a racing perspective or triathlon perspective for after yesterday, and I kind of feel like it's just been one goal and one race and one thing after the next for the last 15 years almost. You know, this is my 7th year doing Ironman racing, and with the new KPR I've had to do 2 a year for the last 3 years. I think it came into effect in. It's been hard, I'm not going to lie. You know, I pride myself on, I think I can prepare very well, mentally, but as well as physically. But it's just hard, you know, at my age, it's been hard to do a Kona, have a little rest, and then start preparing for Melbourne or something else earlier in the year. You know, you have a 3-month build up to that, and do the race, and then it's a sort of a recovery period, and then all of a sudden it's it's April, May, and you're starting to think about Kona again. You're straight into another one almost, and my body feels tired, and my head does too a little bit. You know, it's been a busy couple of years, and I just want to have nothing on the radar.
It must be a good feeling.
It is. You know, and I've had so much support from Neri and the kids. I just want to be there for them and hang around at home, and you know, I've always tried to be involved as a dad, but it was always, you know, I'd be at Lucy's soccer or we'd be at swimming lessons, and you know, I'd be looking at the watch because I had to go into a session or I had a media or an interview to do, and yeah, I'm going to enjoy just hanging out with them and being on their schedule. And if the little fella wants to go to the park or the beach, that's what we'll do. And but I'll think about next year shortly. You know, I think as you get older too, you just get a little more, I wouldn't say softer, but more philosophical. If you race at a high level or the highest level for a long time, you're not going to get a great result every single time. There's too much competition, too many great athletes out there. The course is too hard, the distance is hard, the preparation is tough. It's hard to get physically fit and be healthy, especially preparing for, you know, Ironman after Ironman. I think it's hard, it takes its toll, and I think you get away with it for a couple of years, but the accumulative effect, and you see it with a lot of athletes, you know. I was amazed with Leander, you know, she was able to win last year because she's one athlete who, you know, we'd race Kona and then she'd go to Miami 70.3 and do a late season Ironman Arizona, and I thought that's incredible, not only physically but mentally. But you know, I think this year you saw it all manifest. She had a few injuries and a few other things, and you know, the body can take so much, and if you don't take a break, it'll force you to. So I'm looking forward to taking a break, yeah. And I'll pop up somewhere next year though, for sure.
And you have plans? Little family coming into town?
Yeah, my parents came out to watch, and so they're going to come back to Boulder and spend the week there. And I'm looking forward to being a tourist and just relaxing.
Any skiing plans?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to ski. I might snowshoe first. I'm quite accident prone, so we'll see about the skiing. And after that, I haven't really made any plans. Part of me wanted to race again after Kona just because I've had a pretty quiet year. But, you know, I've had a lot of just annoying niggles over this year, and winter's a good time for me to try and get on top of that and hopefully have a smoother 2014. And I just think putting myself through another Ironman is probably just going to mean that I'm still dealing with them come spring next year. So it might be time to draw a line under the season and have a bit of time off, and then
both deserve it for sure. Yeah. After such an output of yesterday, what is your favorite breakfast the day after?
I had Ritter Sport this morning.
Oh, great.
It's do you know Ritter?
No.
It's like it's a German chocolate, and one of my sponsors knows that I really love it, so she brought some bars over for me. So I had the cornflake.
Oh, there's a healthy. That's healthy, yeah.
But I haven't really eaten that much. My stomach was in bits after racing yesterday, so I think salty, like bacon or and eggs, and that's probably what I'll work on too.
Savory meal.
Yeah.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, I had bacon and eggs. I think after so much sweet stuff, you want something savoury. So, but I was the same. You feel hungry, but then when you sit down to eat, you can't really stomach a lot for a day or two. So, I thought I was going to absolutely crush the buffet, but I had one serving and I was done. So.
It's always tomorrow.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
You going to the athlete dinner tonight too? Well, of course.
Well, Rachel will be.
Yeah,
I might pop along for sure.
Okay.
Had some good friends finish high up, so it'd be nice to see them up there, getting their kudos.
Yeah. Well, wrapping it up.
Luke had a great race.
Unbelievable.
When I saw him, that was awesome.
I saw it coming. I did. He's been stepping it up each year, so.
Yeah. He got his race.
He looked peppy on the run.
He did. He just looked smooth.
Yeah.
Pretty much no one would have called that though, I don't think.
I don't want to seem like a know-it-all, but I trained with him out here for 3 weeks before the race, and I could see he had awesome form. So, you know, someone's in good form when they do hard sessions but make it look easy and it's not taxing on them at all. And also I think he was confident too, because he wasn't overdoing it. There's a tendency, you do a good session, you want to back it up just for reassurance. And yeah, he had timed it perfectly. He was really strong, but he was also fresh. So he'd done a large amount of work, but I think he was fresh as well, if that makes sense. So I think he timed it really well, and he also had a little air of confidence about him. I think he knew he was in good shape, and that's a better place to be than being a little tired or injured, or you know, if you've been playing catch up the last month coming into the race. You know, I think when you time it right and you're always more relaxed too. It's reassuring to think, well, I'm in good shape, I'm not injured, I'm fresh. So I could see that I mean, I always train with him out here the last few weeks before the race, and he was certainly a different athlete this year.
Well, let's finish it up with one of the most important questions. Broncos or Jacksonville today?
Oh, that'll be a close one. It'll be the Broncos. It's in Denver, isn't it?
It is in Denver.
Peyton will probably throw for 5 touchdown passes, maybe rush for a couple.
I really hope not, because my fantasy team I'm playing against it.
All right. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, and Super Bowl, Broncos, or who's your prediction? Being probably more the world sport of football fans.
I've got to brush up on the football, but I'll go Broncos because they're from Denver. So.
What about EPL? What's your prediction for that one?
EPL.
Oh, okay. I'm a bit out of touch with that. Have Man U gone off the boil now?
They have gone a bit off the boil, yeah.
Chelsea, are they still?
They've been a bit off the boil.
More so.
Who's been playing well? Liverpool, I'm not sure how they're going, but they were unbeaten for 4. They won their first 5. Arsenal, they've been doing okay too, yeah.
I'll go Man U because I used to support them. That's from the heart, not from the head. From my vast knowledge of football.
All right.
I'll go the Broncos in the NFL. I think Peyton's so experienced and he's just so good. But it's a funny league though, because things change. There's a lot of parity. There's a lot of good teams. So, you know, last year the 49ers were awesome. They were a lock for the Super Bowl, but they haven't been as good this year. And you know, Seattle started really well. And they've gone off the ball, but yeah, let's back on Peyton.
I like it. Well, thanks for sitting down with us, guys. And, enjoy the day and safe trips home.
Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Rachel.
Yes, absolutely.